My name is LaErica, and I hope you all enjoy my story today. I am a motherless child who grew to become a motherless mother. These two parts of me make me who I am today: resilient, aware, determined. My mother was my rock. She was my first best friend I had in this ever changing world. But when she died, when I was 9 years old, I did not know that in losing her, I would be losing a whole chunk of my life. My mother, Linda, still lives on in my life, although her death created a black hole in my life. I tend to compare myself to the tall and lean woman she was, elegant and regal. She was a single mother of two children, dealing with ongoing health conditions of her own. But she somehow made it work out for us each day of her short lived life. From having an unexpected hospital stay when we lived in Los Angeles to shortly residing in a women's shelter after a hasty move to Las Vegas. My mother held herself together through it all, not once showing any anguish due to many hardships she had to face. 20 years later, and here I am as a mother. I have a loving and appreciative fiance. Sorry. I have two. I have two free-spirited children. Yet, I suffer from depression, anxiety, childhood trauma, postpartum depression, and postpartum anxiety. After having my son in April 2020, I realized that I was suffering terribly from PPA, postpartum anxiety. I became afraid to leave the house with the kids, fearful of an unknown thing happening or of the looks I would receive from others. Maybe those we pass on the street would think I am a single mother, or not like the fact that I am black. These intrusive and uncomfortable thoughts were my day to day normal. They raised my anxiety. They led me to become a silent victim. Although I was, and still am, present on social media addressing these issues, I would only let others see a small glimpse of what living with mental illness while being a mother was like. I had panic attacks due to being overwhelmed by my own children. It was difficult to face myself during these times of stress. My children are my pride and joy, and yet their playful and curious nature led me to be irritated. One day, our oldest would not go down for a nap. She wouldn't stay in her room, not even to play. And the overload I felt from her high, energetic spirit led me to yell at her. My mind was racing, as was my heart. Our infant son was adding to the commotion with his hunger cries. I was lost within myself. I didn't know what to do, so I isolated myself from my daughter so I could nurse her baby brother. The incident ended with our daughter running to her room with a face full of tears. I lay down in bed, nursing her brother, while thinking to myself that I needed to find help. This moment is forever engraved in my mind. I felt like I was at my breaking point. The way our daughter ran away from me after I yelled and shut her out left me heartbroken. The week after, I found a therapist to help me heal from my past trauma. I have to say that having a support person there really helps you when you are as reserved as I am. Yet, here I am, sharing my story with you all today. I have spoken about my maternal mental health issues before in the past, but it is never easy or comfortable to do when you are speaking about past traumas. Having someone there, even just once a week, helps me feel validated and helps me release memories that I still suffer from. Being a black mom in Montana with a white fiance and biracial children has led me to be self reflective and more aware of the interactions I have with others. I take note of how strangers respond to our family when we are in public. It has surprisingly been an incredibly positive environment, but there have been a few outliers. Those who see us in the store but do not acknowledge us. Those who see our daughter in her greetings but act as if she doesn't exist. People also make comments about our children's hair and skin complexion. I know they are meant to be compliments because many people get lost in the mindset that children who are multiracial have better features than children who are not. I try to divert those thoughts out of my own head because I do not want my children to grow up thinking that they are better than the next child based on their racial makeup. I aim to teach our children about their history so they know each part of themselves. My job as their mother is to keep them safe from hatred, but also acknowledge it whenever it presents its hateful face. After becoming a mother, I try to embrace my natural self as much as possible, to not treat myself lesser than I deserve to be treated. But I have been afraid to wear my afro in public due to having unwarranted comments made towards me. I am a part of a very minuscule community of black people here in Montana. We are here and we are present, but we are left to little to none of the culture some of us might be accustomed to. I also have to be extra cognizant of how I react in public. I never want to be viewed as the angry black woman, the stereotype that still lives on in today's society. If the kids are stressing me out while we are in public, I must keep myself together. I try to fit this mode that I believe others hold for me. Whether this mode exists or not, it can be very triggering for me. It runs full circle back to me being afraid to leave the house with the kids during times of high anxiety. I have these perceptions that others might view me in a certain light if I do not align with their ideals. When you are a young black woman living in Montana, your senses are heightened, especially when you suffer from anxiety. Paranoia sometimes gets the best of me. It makes being social more awkward than it needs to be. I end up as a hermit who stays huddled up within myself, overthinking of unspoken words that I assume others are thinking about me. It all becomes worse when you are followed around the local Target by an older white woman, unclear on whether she thinks you are shoplifting, when you are simply a mom picking up dinner for your family. When I sensed I was being followed, I started to judge my own self. I had on joggers and a work hoodie, a very casual outfit, and yet here I was, stereotyping my own damn self because of this white woman who insisted on closely trailing me down each aisle. I spoke to other black moms in a Facebook group, and the majority said that they would have confronted the woman, but I had not wanted to be viewed as the angry black woman if I were to do so. Progress needs to be made to free us Black women from this insulting description. I censor myself at times and have hidden my emotions to appease others, not wanting them to feel uncomfortable if I spoke on my own feelings. This pattern of holding feelings in has been a part of my way of living since my mother died. My grief at such a young and pivotal age led me to internalizing everything. I let my emotions rise and simmer over in my body until my body cannot contain them anymore. When I experienced sadness and grief, I shut down entirely and could not gather myself to interact with anyone. I soak and let the sadness take over my body like a blanket of comfort. When anger rears its hot-headed self, my body and mind cannot rest. I must be on the move, even though most of the time I find myself cleaning our home in great haste, not once paying attention to the energy that is moving throughout my body. My depression and anxiety walk alongside one another. They make my emotions run rampant throughout my entire soul. I think of nothing and everything all at the same time. My mind is plagued with memories that never happened with my mother. She wasn't at my high school and college graduations, the births of my children, or my upcoming wedding. I know that I will always have the moments we spent together ingrained into my memory, but the physical memories I would have made with her will never be. I strive to keep her memory alive through my children. I tell them about their guardian angel, their grandma Linda, who would have loved to have met them. They already share a love for her through the skim photos I have of her throughout our house. My grief for my mother runs deep, but I know that she will be proud of the internal work I am doing to become a better and healthier wife, mother, and woman. My therapist has taught me ways of paying attention to my body and my thoughts when I am experiencing times of anxiety. I have bad days where nothing seems to work, and I am stuck in a spiral of negative thoughts. Other times, I can connect with myself and see the woman and mother I was meant to be. She is slowly emerging through the cracks that had formed around the barrier that I have always held around myself. She is brightly smiling from ear to ear, no longer trapped by the life-plaguing trauma that made her afraid to be herself. She is the kind and courageous woman she dreamt about being as a young and hopeful girl. I dream that I am healed and not a victim to my own intimidating imagination anymore. The anxiety-ridden mind I have become accustomed to does not hinder my ability to leave my house any longer. I walk with my head held high and confidence in my soul. I am radiant. I am strong-willed. I am empowered. I am me.